Leftovers, episode 3, little delayed because I kind of stunk at the stuff happening.
It's alright. We're good.
And you know what? It happens.
Yeah.
There's things to do. It wasn't a total loss. I made sure people got to and from the airport. It was horrible.
Hey, family comes first.
Family does come first, and but driving around the airport is not a suggested thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I gotta do the same thing soon. Whatever, though. Yeah, Leftovers episode 3. We just had the NHL Draft Lottery.
The Draft Lottery! Really? We got cheated out of McDavid. Stop! Who cares?
So
this was brought up on Neutral Ice. I made a mini 2-minute rant about it. I don't think I need to go into it anymore.
Derek and Frank here.
Derek Kramer, Frank Arcuri, members of WBNY's Neutral Ice team.
Yep, and WBNY in general, 91.3 FM. But yeah, so in case you missed it, the Buffalo Sabres lost the draft lottery on Saturday night. The Edmonton Oilers are, of course, the Edmonton Oilers and won the draft lottery.
For the fourth time in 6 years, Frank.
Fourth time in 6 years, and they will select first overall in the 2015 NHL draft, and they will get Connor McDavid. But the Sabres are still getting Jack Eichel, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and if I'm Craig McTavish, I'm investing in the actual lottery at this point, I mean, it's
yeah, really
to win the NHL lottery 4 times in 6 years when you're not even the worst team in the league in most cases.
Yeah, it's
fairly impressive.
It's very impressive.
I at this point, I'm not even that mad. I mean, as a hockey fan can say that, McDavid goes to Edmonton, you cannot market him as well as you did Crosby. That is true. How come we don't hear much about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins? How come we don't hear much about Taylor Hall at this point?
Or Jordan Eberle. Or Yakupov.
No, I mean, Yakupov's
Yakupov.
Yeah.
But even still.
But still, those are 4 number 1 overall picks that we had mentioned, and another one that was a high first-round pick in Jordan Eberle.
Yeah.
They're not marketable because of the fact that they're all the way out west like that.
Yep.
Honestly, the same thing would have happened if you went to Arizona. If you would have went out west in general, I mean...
Yeah, it's hard to market those kind of players.
Yes, LA gets their share, but that's because they've won cups, and they're going to make exceptions to that rule. Yep. But, a team like a San Jose... It's still tough to market all the way out west when their games start at 10 at night. And it stinks. But that's the way it happens.
That's how it is. If you want to mark, it's all based on where the players are. That's why guys like Crosby and Ovechkin always get marketed because they're in the East.
They're in the East.
You get to watch them.
East Coast bias is real, people.
Oh, it's absolutely real.
It is real.
That is absolutely why when the Sabres draft Jack Eichel, he's going to get marketed a lot more.
He's going to get marketed a lot more because he's in a hockey market. He's closer to traditional hockey markets.
Yep.
He is able to be seen by many people at a time capable of watching them.
Yep.
I have friends and family out west. Well, they're friends that are considered family. Big-time Sabres fans.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be able to watch Jack Eichel because of the fact that, Eichel comes on around 4 or 5 o'clock for them.
Yeah.
Out in Vegas.
Yeah.
So... those are people that, they don't lose out. Unfortunately, all hockey fans on the East Coast, or even in the Central Time Zone,
they lose out on
McDavid.
Yeah.
And it stinks. It's always going to stink. But East Coast bias is a real thing when it comes to media coverage of players. Connor McDavid and his marketability lose. The NHL loses. Buffalo and Edmonton don't lose.
No, because they both get 2 generational players.
Exactly. And be mad all you want about Edmonton. Go ahead. Take out your rage on them for being,
incredibly lucky.
Incredibly lucky. Someone called it, giving the Employee of the Month award to your worst employee. But
it's pretty much true.
It's true, but at the same time,
get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it.
It happened.
Yeah.
It's over.
Not mad.
And
I don't want to hear all the conspiracy theories.
And guess what? Yeah, an extra ball was drawn, but that ball ended up back into the pool.
Yeah.
So it was able to be picked again. So you can't necessarily say that the my favorite was someone put up like all these pictures on, it was like on Imgur.
Yeah, on Imgur. Yeah.
Imgur, and it like, and the quote that I will always take away from this and makes me laugh still was, quote, "the integrity of randomness." Are you kidding me, man? I congratulations on trying to get a rise out of fans, but as it was said on Neutral Ice, the tank was not necessarily about Connor McDavid.
It was about a guarantee at a generational player.
Which means Jack Eichel was a bigger part of this conversation.
Yeah.
And this, instill in my mind, unholy crusade. But it's over. It's done. We are secured.
We won.
We are secured. The hardest part was the season, the final week of the season.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part about all of this. I also cannot believe, Frank, you were there with me along with many people from WBNY at Amherst Ale House.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a scene.
Wow. The amount of people, and that was just at Amherst Ale House. We're not talking we're not talking hotbed for sports entertainment watching.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, everywhere, from what I hear, was just absolutely insane. Pearl Street, 716, those are prime destinations to go watch games. I would imagine every Tully's and Applebee's that had 40 million TVs was jam-packed as well.
Buffalo
Wild Wings, like everywhere that had a bunch of TVs, you got to know that they were jam-packed for this thing.
Yeah, absolutely they were.
And this was just to see who we come up with.
Yeah.
It was not something that, again, I'm not necessarily perplexed. I'm astounded at the amount of turnout just for the draft lottery.
Just to see who we're going to get.
I mean, I don't know if that many people are actually watching the draft at that point because they're saying, hey, we got Jack Eichel. They already, from this day forth, they know. Until the NHL draft. Yeah. They know who we have. We know who we got.
Unless something big happens.
Unless Craig McTavish does things.
Or Murray does things. We're getting Eichel.
Let's bring up that real quick. The Murray does things.
Yeah. What kind of things?
I don't want Murray to do things.
No, he's not going to do things.
I don't
see him. I don't see him.
I don't even want him to try.
No, you know what? The only thing he's going to try and do is talk with McTavish about trading to number one. That's all he's going to do, and he's probably not even going to put a big effort into it.
I would hope not, because the gap between 1 and 2 is not nearly as big.
It's really not that big, but to a lot of people, apparently it is big, which is, I don't see why. I see why, I know why McDavid is going to go number one. We see why Jack Eichel is going to go number 2, but the gap between those two is not nearly as big as the gap between Eichel and Hanifin, who's probably going to go 3 to Arizona, who got morally screwed out of all of this.
You know what? That's what you get for trying to out-tank the tank.
Yeah.
Take that, Darcy.
They didn't tank hard enough.
No, they actually did actively. Like the Sabres were bad. Sabres were bad all year. We got to remember this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If not for that run in November, where they were seeing closer to the playoffs than last place, outside of that 12-3 run in November, they were not good at all.
I know.
And
it was amazing.
People got to remember that.
And I said that whole time during that run. I'm like, I did an Aaron Rodgers. Relax. 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 They're going to lose.
Yeah.
And what happened right after that? They lost, 14 straight games?
Yes.
Whoa, who called that one?
Yeah. It's something that happens.
It's something that you got to understand.
But, again,
whatever.
The whole season is done. Everything's over with. The future is now.
Yep.
And honestly,
coming to town.
It cannot come soon enough. I want to never have to ever embrace losing or even deal with people embracing losing ever again.
Now it's all about progressing.
Now it's all... I'd mentioned it yesterday. Tim Murray has torn a roster down.
Yep.
It's time to see what he's built up.
And he's got the pieces to build it with.
Yes.
It's just a matter of
he's going to throw down on draft day. He's got picks he knows he's not using for this team.
Like the second first-round pick.
Exactly.
You know what? I could see him using that pick to either, 1, make a big trade, or 2, trade down in the draft.
Yes.
He's probably going to do that. Mm-hmm. Unless there's a guy that he wants.
He's got the ammo to move up or down in the draft as he sees fit. Yeah. And we're obviously not talking about number 2 overall, people. We got to clarify that so that we don't get comments saying, "Are you kidding? They'll never trade for number 2." Yeah, we know that. We know that. It's okay. We're going to clarify that right now. We're talking about wherever the Blues/Islanders pick is. Is that right? Blues Islanders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
One of those picks is going to Winnipeg.
One of those picks is going to Winnipeg.
It's based on where both teams go in the playoffs.
Speaking of Winnipeg, remember the last episode of Leftovers, how we were looking at St. Louis and saying, who'd you rather play?
Yeah.
Minnesota's currently up 2-1 on the Blues.
Yeah.
And Andre Pavlik has looked like Atlanta Thrashers Pavlik.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I've watched all 3 games. Honestly, it's really not been Pavlik's fault. It's more of the team in front of him just making too many mental mistakes.
Like Dustin Byfuglien punching someone in the head after he scores a goal.
Yeah, he pulled a Dale Hunter.
How? Hey,
Byfuglien should have gotten kicked out of the game for that.
You know what? How could Evander Kane not get along with such a gentleman?
Yeah, such a nice guy.
I could find it. Oh my gosh! Why did we trade for this guy? He couldn't get along with Dustin Byfuglien. Wow. Now, sarcasm aside, holy crap.
Yeah, and a little bit frustrated after allowing a goal. Well, maybe you should have defended him better.
I've never seen that since, like you said, Dale Hunter.
Hunter.
After someone scored a goal, at least Hunter took Turgeon out. Byfuglien just looked like a fool.
Yeah, he got a penalty, and
also only 2 minutes for roughing.
Yeah, you should have gotten at least 5.
Get a double minor at least, you know. I don't understand. Dustin Byfuglien, you're good at the hockey things, but you're also a very angry man.
Yeah, you really need to.
I'll never say that to your face.
Down.
I will never say that to your face.
No, because I'm gonna get punched too.
Because I can't afford facial reconstruction. But you're not a happy man.
But going back to the actual series, it's 3-0 Anaheim right now in the series. Anaheim only needs one more win to advance to the second round. Anaheim just has, honestly, it's similar to the Montreal-Ottawa series, which is also 3-0. They're both evenly matched. Mm-hmm. It's just Anaheim just come out on top.
Yes.
It's based on the fact that especially last night's game, Anaheim won 5-4 in overtime. Winnipeg was outplaying them most of the game. It's just every time Winnipeg made a small mistake, Anaheim scored. That's what it was. And really, you can't put the blame on Pavlik. It's not been his fault because he's actually been playing really good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Devin Dubnyk had a 16-save shutout last night against St. Louis.
Yeah,
that sounds like more of classic St. Louis at this point more than Minnesota getting their job done there. And classic
Minnesota got the job done.
Classic St. Louis though seems like a team that just can't perform in the playoffs.
Yeah, Minnesota beat them with their speed.
They're the new San Jose, I think. Great team,
great regular season team, but just fizzles out in the playoffs.
Yes, part of it
a lot of teams are like that now.
Part of it is seemingly the goaltending situation, but I'm not gonna put that on Jake Allen last night. No, but like
or at all.
They've always had question marks throughout the years with goaltenders. I mean, last year Ryan Miller played a lot worse than he should have.
Yeah,
but Ryan Miller in Buffalo is a different being than Ryan Miller, the goaltender. We've seen this, actually, with, let's see, Anders Lindback, Jonas Enroth, Michael Neuwirth. All those goalies looked a lot different in a Sabres uniform than they did in other uniforms this year.
Yep.
I mean, Anders Lindback put his goals against average up an entire point.
Yeah.
Up.
My God.
He was a 3.7.
Yeah.
And he got up to I think it was a 2.8.
Yeah.
And I find it like wow. But that's also because of the sheer volume of shots that you take, and Arturs Urbe being a great goalie coach.
He is a great goalie coach.
And he was part of the coaching staff that came in last year.
Yep. Hang on.
When we had something going on. And we got Nate dropping in.
Hi, Nate.
Hi, Nate. Welcome to the Leftovers.
There's leftovers.
This is a WBNY podcast.
I'm kind of hungry. What you guys talking about?
We talking hockey.
Oh, we just talked hockey.
You just talked hockey?
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How your Rangers doing?
Oh, they're okay. I mean, they're good
good.
enough. They're good enough. I don't know if I'm.
Hey, you're on. Yeah, you're on.
go ahead.
Yeah,
They're
you're
good
on.
enough to beat the Penguins,
Yeah.
and we all know this. I think we were just talking on the air about Fleury, and he's actually been pretty good this series
been good.
considering.
He has been good
And
considering
we're
his
just waiting
past.
for the other shoe to drop, and when that other shoe drops, it's gonna be over.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't happen. I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't happen.
But
I think Fleury's going to continue to play well,
Yeah, come
but
on, man.
I just don't
Grab
see
him,
it.
Mike.
I just don't see Pittsburgh even having a chance of coming back,
No.
mainly because of the
and they have
defensive
a good
injuries.
talent. It's not like the talent difference
The
isn't
talent's there. It's just
too
it's
different
there,
from-
but it's
right.
there, but it's not there because Letang's out for the year. Well, Ehrhoff, we don't know when he's coming back.
Yeah.
Then they got Oli Mata who's out for the year too. That's three of their top four defensemen. They're gone, so
Yeah.
they got to be playing.
Gone
guys
and
like-
not coming back.
Yeah, gone and not coming back. Ehrhoff's supposed to be coming back soon, but
But
we
what
don't
kind of
know when.
impact is a freshman who hasn't skated in a while going to do?
Exactly.
How about former Sabres making an impact, whether positive or negative?
I
in this
know,
playoff series?
right?
You had Palmerville with the goal.
Palmerville a goal.
Palmerville's been playing really
Palmerville's
good.
a goal against
Palmerville and
St.
Vanek have
Louis.
both been really good for Minnesota.
Yes. Chris Stewart's been playing
Yeah,
well.
he's been playing well.
I mean, let's see. Who was it last night? I think. Did Tyler Myers score?
Yeah, he did.
Tyler Myers scored.
Stafford's been good.
Stafford's been good for Winnipeg.
Why did you give all these guys up? I guess for Eichel, right?
yeah.
Eichel.
All that's worth it.
It is worth
He
it.
gave a lot of good talent for Eichel.
Eichel
Well,
and Kane.
I mean, to be fair, I think that Myers was traded and Bogosian was acquired as part of that.
I like Bogosian.
Bogosian's
I
a
really
good
do.
piece.
I do like
Stafford's an expiring contract. And
same with
honestly,
Stewart.
the way he's played, he needed a new start. And good for him. I got to say, I am so happy for Drew Stafford. Because the guy needed a new start somewhere, a fresh place. And he's playing exactly as he should. But then again, Drew Stafford in a contract year is a different Drew Stafford than we've always seen. So Winnipeg got contract year Drew Stafford.
I have a prediction for this year.
Go
There's
for it.
only going to be one winner of the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's going to be Canadians. And this is going to be a Canadian team winning the Cup. It's
Okay.
Canadians. They've been the
Okay,
one
tell me
team-
why.
All right, so
I'm interested.
I like to see them win the East. I'm a Rangers fan. Now, as a Rangers fan, the one team that scared me last year were the Canadians. I thought they were really good. They had an unfortunate injury at an unfortunate time. Their goalie
With
beat
Carey
out.
Price.
Right. I think with Price, with the team they have, they've been antagonizing teams. They've been getting into the heads of all these other fan bases, and it's worked. They are bullies. They are the bullies of at least the East right now. And I think
I have one thing to say
the
to
Rangers
this.
are kind of, and Rangers fans will agree, whether they like to or not, that the Canadians is the one team that does scare them for legitimate reasons.
I would say there's two teams in this
I
that
see
that
that.
should scare the Rangers. I think Tampa's still a viable
I'm not afraid
threat.
of Tampa. So that's the thing.
Why-
Tampa's
how-
good, but I'm not afraid of Tampa.
Why are you not afraid of him?
I don't know. I just feel like the Rangers aren't afraid.
Tyler Johnson
To toughen
has
up.
been
When it comes
an
to, like-
animal. And he's not even your top center. That's Steven Stamkos.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson has been playing great in these postseason so far.
It's a great storyline. Tampa
Great
Bay
story.
Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the trade, Martin St. Louis.
With the St. Louis
And
Callahan
Brian
trade.
Callahan facing
trade.
off on their old teams
Right.
again.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great storyline.
That'll be fun.
But I really feel like the Rangers, man to man, aren't afraid of getting a little physical. This series against I almost called them the Flyers, the Penguins. It's been a very physical series, and that's the way the Rangers like it. And I think the Rangers would survive against any other team that likes to play fast or likes to score or likes to do a lot of those things because they can be physical and they have a great goaltender to back them up.
Okay.
But against the Canadians are the one team that can play that style with the Rangers and still go fast and still have, they can stop the Rangers from scoring and they can do a lot of things to kind of frustrate the Rangers.
Now, the one thing I will say against the Canadians, and Frank, you mentioned this already, Ottawa's playing them a lot better than the 3-0 hold indicates.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
Ottawa's playing
Oh, yeah.
so much better than what the series looks like.
What it's indicating.
Really, it really comes down to I've said this multiple times too. I don't like Montreal's depth.
I don't
know
like
they
their
got
possession.
Mitchell. We know they got Mitchell and Brian Flynn from Buffalo.
Two more
Dale
former
Weiss- two more former Sabres.
Yeah.
And then yes, they got Dale Weiss, and he scored 2 goals in Game 3. But you look at their top line. You get Pacioretty, great goal scorer. I really like. He's one of my favorite players. I love his story too. After that gruesome back injury from Chara,
I get chills down my back. Actually, that happened.
Plekanec, he's the captain of that team. Montreal technically doesn't have a captain, but Plekanec
is the leader.
He is
the leader of that team.
And I like him.
Subban has been phenomenal.
Subban's a monster. And Subban is a monster.
And just antagonizing everybody. I love it. Playoff Subban is a treat.
Yeah,
it's something we should not take lightly.
He is very.
He is a treat in the playoffs.
PK Subban in general is a treat. I'll say that.
When's his contract up?
No,
long time.
No way.
Long time.
Anybody's favorite team. He would be a great addition to any team. Any team would love to have him. He would be beloved by a fan base.
Yes,
but you've seen how Ottawa's been playing him. Mm-hmm. They can get to Carey Price. They have gotten to Carey Price. Price has not single-handedly won a game for Montreal.
Yeah.
Which is not normal.
And that is a concern. That's why I think that's why I was originally thinking Montreal's probably going to lose to Ottawa because of this.
I picked Ottawa.
But same here. I picked Ottawa to win in 7 games. I mean, it's still technically possible, but
I don't know if a reverse sweep is happening.
It's not going to happen. But I'm still thinking Tampa Bay's going to beat Detroit. They're going to overpower them with their speed. Tampa Bay's got toughness too. You can't forget that. Callahan, he will get in your face. Hedman will get in your face. They have other guys like JT Brown, Cedric Paquette,
Combrine.
Combrine. They got guys.
Brett Connolly will get in your face.
Bro, they don't have Brett Connolly anymore.
Oh, they don't? Oh, no, right. My bad.
They traded him.
My bad.
Andre Sucher will get in your face. When Coburn's there, he'll get in your face. They got guys who will get in the face of other players' offense and just other players in general, which is going to be why Tampa Bay ends up coming out on top and beating the Red Wings. And then if they play Montreal, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see two teams who are just going to get in each other's faces all the time. Stamkos is not afraid to get in your face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he showed it against the Sabres a couple times.
He has shown it against the Sabres. He has shown it against Detroit in Game 2, I believe. And this is that Tampa team that I'm thinking they can win the Cup. That's why I said
Ben Bishop is good enough
them to win the Cup this whole time this year. Because of what they got. They have the speed, they have the offense, they got the skill, and they got the toughness to win. And they got a really good defense, and they're coached really well with a fantastic goaltender.
But you could flip it the other way. You talked about the whole Canadiens thing where they've been winning without Price. You could flip it and say that's a really good thing that they've been doing all these things.
That is true.
Yeah,
the help of Price.
I gotta give you that.
I will give you that too. However, I'm also going to put the point is that Ottawa has been making a lot of small mistakes. It's as I was just saying with Winnipeg too, with the Anaheim series. Mm-hmm. Winnipeg's been playing Anaheim just like how Ottawa's been playing Montreal. It's just that it's
bad
small mistakes, some breaks. That is why that they're losing.
That's a sign of a team that's not ready. For this season back.
Yeah.
One team that's tested and knows how to win these games.
I do like the point though that you mentioned though
that's why
that Carey Price hasn't really won this series yet, and
compared to last year where he was all over.
Compared to this season,
with this whole
season, so he's my heart guy because of my
worry. But that's my worry with Montreal in general because
if Carey Price is not on his game. Yeah, they could beat an Ottawa, a team like Tampa, but can they beat a Tampa?
Yeah. Exactly, and I don't think they can.
All right.
I have to go. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I really like the Canadiens to win the Cup, and I mean Anaheim's everybody's kind of been pushing them. They're destined to kind of get to the Cup final, but the Blackhawks still have
It's going to be a team coming out of it's going to be either a team in the St. Louis, Minnesota, Nashville, Chicago series that's going to the Cup.
I like Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville's fun.
I don't know.
Nashville's fun,
but they're without Weber now for Game 4. So
that hurts,
and it really does hurt.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of your podcast.
Nate, thanks for coming on the Leftovers.
Absolutely.
Good one, Nate.
Great being on there.
Yeah.
Great title too, The Leftovers. Nice.
Hey, you only get one day a week to talk, so this is what it's about.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was Dr. Nate Boogie Smith.
Yeah, Nate Smith jumping on The Leftovers as we were recording. He was talking a little bit about it on the air live, and
just earlier.
So, again, we talked NHL playoffs here. It's always the most fun.
Yeah.
We're talking I remember. I was mentioning this was on the air on Monday with Chris Kowalczyk and the Buffalo Blitz. He said that the NBA playoffs right now, they've been so boring. And there's only been one game that's actually been really close. It's unfortunate to see it like that. But all the real drama in the NBA playoffs is going to happen in the next round.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you've got 5-4, 2-1. Games that are always going to be tight. And unfortunately, the whiteout for Winnipeg didn't go their way.
Yeah. I just want to watch a highlight of Myers' goal because I missed it. But going on that, as we were saying earlier, Winnipeg and Ottawa, they just haven't. It's just been small mistakes that have just cost them those games, and
it's
reality sets it should be a 2-1 series for both of them. Probably 2-1 Anaheim, 2-1 Montreal, but both teams should have at least one win, but they don't because small mistakes kill. That's just what's happening. That's unfortunate because these are two teams that I picked to beat their respective opponents.
Yeah, and it's again the fact that the NHL playoffs are still as unpredictable as they always will be.
They're still unpredictable.
But it's always fun. Oh, wow.
That was just a nice shot goal right there.
Nice little throw onto the net.
That's what Myers does. I was actually talking with my stepdad about this last night, too, about Tyler Myers. Myers is a guy that'll thrive by playing top 4 minutes.
But not top 2.
Not top 2. He'll play 17 minutes a night, between 16 and 17 minutes a night, and give him all the power play time. Because he will thrive on that. It's either that, and I still have my idea with Myers that if you put him as a forward, he will be one of the best players.
Like a Brent Burns?
A Brent Burns or a Bufflin. Because Bufflin was a forward, too, when he was in Chicago. That if you do that, because of this guy, he's so offensive. He's got so much speed. He's got a cannon of a shot. And his hockey sense is off the charts good.
And one of his biggest problems when he was in Buffalo was getting out of his defensive zone.
Yep.
How many times do you see him make a bad pass or try to take the puck up and it just doesn't work?
Too many.
And it led to him having his welcome worn out here despite being, 23?
Yeah. About 23 years old.
Yeah, way to write him off, guys.
23, 24, or something like that.
Yeah. Either way, still too young to be writing off someone like that. Speaking of people that have been written off, Mikhail Grigorenko. Grigorenko scored 2 goals on a line with Sam Reinhart in the Amerks finale.
Yeah.
This past weekend.
Yeah.
Can you see a bright future there? Hello. You've got Reinhart, who is a great playmaking center.
Yeah.
In his own right.
Reinhart has played 3 games in Rochester and has 3 points, all assists.
Yeah. He has 3 assists, and guess who was the beneficiary?
Mikhail Grigorenko.
Mikhail Grigorenko playing on his wing. So it's one of those things where I would love to see Grigorenko on the wing. And sports director Nick Lippa, hello. Welcome to the Leftovers.
What's going on?
How are you guys
doing? We've been going at it for what? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
we had Nate Boogie Smith coming in, and now we got Nick Lippa.
Keep going on what were you saying?
Okay. Well, I mean, Mikhail Grigorenko playing on the wing on a line with Sam Reinhart, no one would have projected this. Seeing it in Rochester and seeing it work very well, and even in a short sample size, gives you a possibility. And it's very intriguing to me. I'm a guy who still likes Mikhail Grigorenko. I believe in Mikhail Grigorenko. I would not want to give up on him yet. And don't give up on him yet. Because
don't give up.
This guy still... I've never seen such a natural shooter like Mikhail Grigorenko when it came to Sabres prospects.
Yeah.
Like, he is a natural shooter. He throws that thing at the net, you're getting at least a chance on it. So, and how many times with the Sabres, after having a much improved end of the season, he throws that puck at the net,
something
happens,
and that's because that's what you need to do. You got to keep.
He's strong on the puck
on the net.
He's strong on the puck now.
Yeah.
He's got a guy in Sam Reinhart who could just get him that puck.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a line combination that Sabres fans could look forward to.
Maybe that's what happens next season. You have Grigorenko and Reinhart on the same line.
Oh my god.
Probably playing with Matt Molson, or you put the guy like Molson.
Put a guy like Molson on the left wing.
Yeah. Whichever one of them has to switch the right wing, but then you have a line of Eichel, Evander Kane, and Tyler Ennis, and then you have probably Foligno, Girgensons, and Gianta as your third line. That's your top 9 right there.
Good lord. That's so much better than what we've been rocking.
Yeah, that's so much better. I love it.
Yeah, and If you love it, leave comments, give us a tweet, do whatever you want. Yeah. Let us know. Come on. We love having people listen to this and getting some sort of opinion. We are Derek Kramer, Frank Arcuri. This is The Leftovers for WBNY, 91.3 FM, WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative. And we only get one day a week to talk sports. And guess what? Now we expand on it because we've been talking hockey pretty much from the get-go here. Oh my God, Tim Tebow's back! Oh, good Lord, kill me.
All right, moving into some football.
God.
Tim Tebow's back!
Kill me now.
All right.
Kill me now. Kill me now.
How much do you want to bet that it's not going to be for that long?
He's fighting for the third quarterback job.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, oh, Chip Kelly can do things with players. So what? Sam Bradford's still at the top of that depth chart. And if you're going to tell me that Tim Tebow deserves to play over Sam Bradford just because of the fact that he's won a playoff game, I'm going to slap myself. I'm not even going to slap you. I'm going to slap myself so that I can't hear anymore. I don't mean to sound mean about it, but if people use the same argument with Tim Tebow. Mm-hmm. The fact that he's won a playoff game with Denver. Yeah, so did Peyton Manning. He won a lot of them.
Yeah.
Last I checked, so did Jake Plummer. Jake Plummer was awesome. I miss Jake Plummer. But I'm going on a bit of a Broncos quarterback tangent for a reason here. A guy like T.J. Yates won a playoff game for the Houston Texans when Matt Shaw was out with an injury.
Yeah.
So you're going to go ahead. I can easily say T.J. Yates should be a starter because he won a playoff game. That's not the case. Why? Because T.J. Yates can't consistently complete passes. Tim Tebow cannot consistently complete passes.
His completion percentage is horrible.
Do you want to know something? Fun fact here.
What?
Tim Tebow is the only NFL quarterback to attempt over 250 passes in the National Football League.
Okay.
And have a sub 500 completion percentage.
Sub 50%?
Sub 50%.
God,
he is at 48.7.
Jeez.
Do you want to know the next closest?
Who?
Ryan Lindley of the Arizona Cardinals. And you just reacted that way to Ryan Lindley. Tim Tebow's worse at completing the passes.
God.
Do you know what you call a Tim Tebow pass that hits the ground? A holy roller. Boom!
Oh! Okay.
But Tim Tebow hits passes into the dirt more than he does into his receivers. Yes, and I get it. He's a winner. He inspires people. Those are
that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's not going to be playing. Maybe he's
there to just be grand inspiration to Chip Kelly's band of misfits.
We're going to find out tomorrow. Yeah, we signed Tebow to be the team motivator.
We signed Tebow to be the scout team personal protector, guy who runs it in from the 1 yard line for a quarterback sneak.
If they honestly do something with Tebow that's not quarterback, then maybe it's good.
He honestly needs to open himself to that too.
Yeah, he opened
because his left arm is not. Oh, hey, all right. Religious aspects aside,
all right.
The man has to open himself up to playing other positions because his left arm has not been trustworthy. I'm sorry, Tebow lovers. But you watch the games. There was a game where Denver attempted 8 passes. Attempted 8 passes. You know how many of them he completed?
Like 3.
3 was actually the exact number.
Yeah.
Less than half.
I remember that game.
Less than half.
3 for 8 for a whole game. That means he threw the ball 2 times per quarter.
Yeah. That's an average of 2 passes.
And not even one completed per quarter. That means there have been one quarter where he made 2 passes and missed them both.
Per quarter. Think of that. That's 15 minutes of game time. And Denver attempted 2 passes per quarter.
That's one pass that's like one pass every 7 minutes.
And that's impossible, especially in this day and age.
Yeah. Just no.
All right.
Okay.
So we're done talking about the most scrutinized third-string quarterback in the league.
Probably 4th-string too. He's probably practice.
You know who's sweating bullets? Matt Barkley.
Yeah, Matt Barkley.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, poor G.J. Kinney too, but.
Nah.
But again, this is one of those things where Tebow's an enigma. You either love him or you hate him. You love him for irrational reasons. You hate him because everyone loves him. Done.
Okay. I do have something funny, though, that I found.
Oh, God. You searched
Tebow pretzel. Because that's hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That's why I say I quit.
So,
I quit the sports things.
In Philadelphia made a pretzel that's the Tim Tebow's.
Oh God, that means Tebowing is back.
Yeah. Oh come on. As soon as Tebow was signed with Philly, it was like, oh, Tebowing's back. It's back.
You know what? Next time I'm gonna Tebow is when I miss a shot to the garbage can. Because that's what it means, right?
Yeah.
That's what it means to Tebow?
Pretty much.
Oh, God. All right. I'm done talking about the most covered third-string quarterback that there is.
Yeah.
So, now on to better things. The NFL Draft is
9 days away.
9 days away. We are in it.
Yeah.
And for WBNY listeners, myself, Derek Kramer, I will be on for the live coverage of days 1 and 2 for the draft on the air. I will also do a special leftovers edition of the podcast for day 3 of the NFL Draft. Why? Because I'm a draft nerd. Don't judge me. I love day 3. Last year, I was jumping up and down in my house, Frank, when we drafted Cyril Richardson with a 5th-round pick.
I was jumping around up and down my house when we drafted Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, but that's a first-round pick. Everyone watches that.
Yeah.
I was on my computer live streaming the draft day 3 when everyone's just treating it as what they call Sunday, and like a Sunday in May. And my friend walks into my house as I'm jumping up and down. I'm going, "We got Cyril Richardson! Yes!" And he's like, "What? Are you seriously celebrating a 5th-round pick?" And I agree. I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then I did the same thing with Seantrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Because I know these things, because I love this time of year. The draft is just
That's your
thing.
That's your thing, yeah. That's
my
the same
stuff.
thing with the NHL draft being my thing.
Exactly. And, we got you, we got Brayton, like, guys that are very heavy into the NHL draft.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the NFL draft.
My big thing, too.
I'm so excited.
Like, my top 3 NHL days of the year is the draft, the first day of free agency, and the trade deadline. Just knowing what's going on, knowing what all the teams are doing, that's what we love. We love it.
Now, there's tons of speculation about when it comes to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Because they don't pick till 50.
Yeah.
It's a whiles away.
Yeah.
I mean, some blog sites and some draft gurus will only showcase a top 50 for people to click on.
Yeah.
That means the Bills don't pick until the last of that.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means there's going to be a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation as to what they're going to do. They may move down.
I have heard that.
Doug Whaley mentioned that actually at the luncheon yesterday.
If there's a guy that he wants lower,
if there's a guy that they want,
down.
And they want to collect more assets of picks, that's what they're going to do.
That's not a bad idea.
The Bills have the majority of their picks are day 3.
Yeah.
They have 2 picks in day 2, the 2nd and the 3rd round pick,
and
then that's it.
Yeah.
So the majority of their picks are in the day that people call a crapshoot. Sometimes you get someone good, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get a Cam Chancellor, sometimes you get a guy.
Yeah.
But Doug Whaley said some pretty damning things about. He said some comments yesterday that were pretty damning to E.J. Manuel, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, who was drafted in the 1st round just 2 years ago. They were talking a lot about Garrett Grayson, quarterback out of Colorado State.
Okay.
Grayson, if you guys do not know, Garrett Grayson is a quarterback from Colorado State, a guy who's run a pro-style offense, threw for 4,000 yards his senior year at Colorado State, threw for at least 3,500 in the 2 years previous. He is a guy who is very capable of being a quarterback in the NFL. He probably will start as a backup somewhere, no matter where he's drafted, and be groomed to be a potential starter, which is something that I'm not against. I like Garrett Grayson as a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I've also said it a couple times that I don't want a quarterback from this draft class. But it sounds to me like they are targeting Grayson, Bryce Petty of Baylor, and Sean Manine of Oregon State. No, thank you. Please do not do that. And they've actually knocked Brett Hundley of UCLA, who is regarded as a second-round pick and regarded by many as the next best to Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
They don't think that Hundley is their next best. They think it is of the group of Petty and Grayson and Manine, who, to me, is not a pro-caliber quarterback. So that's a huge knock on Hundley when it comes to the Bills scouts. The Bills would normally be drafting at pick 19. Yep. If they did not make the Sammy Watkins trade. I am not going to go ahead and say anything about regrets for that because...
No regrets.
No regrets. Absolutely.
No regrets.
No regrets on that trade. Because it will pay dividends. My thing is, what are the Bills going to do at 50? I think they're going to trade down. I think they're going to go ahead and they're just going to find a way to acquire more assets, more picks, and make it happen that way. Because they probably want to be able to do that. They don't want to they don't want to be trading up at this point. They don't have the assets or the firepower to do so. They want to be able to grab as many people as they can, be able to pick best player available because they're in a position to almost do that. My biggest thing is they need a safety. They need a safety on this team.
Yeah.
To compete with Duke Williams, Jonathan Meeks, and Kenny Ladler. We'll find out what happens there. But for me, I don't care what happens with the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to be angry unless they do the following.
Yeah.
1, draft a running back. In any capacity.
Please don't.
You made your trade for a running back.
Yeah.
Had you not traded for LaShawn McCoy, I actually suggest that you take running back. But now, you've got LaShawn McCoy. Fred Jackson, he's not going to last much longer on this team. I understand that. But you've got Bryce Brown, who's still... poor Bryce Brown. Bryce Brown was the backup in Philly to LaShawn McCoy. He gets traded. McCoy says, hey, Buffalo's getting a guy who could be a starter for this team. He has a couple of games where he was actually pretty decent, but Doug Marrone didn't play him because Doug Marrone
is Doug Marrone.
And next thing you know, the next season, who comes in is the guy ahead of him now on the depth chart?
LaShawn McCoy.
LaShawn McCoy. God. Poor Bryce Brown.
Yeah.
I feel like you need a hug, bro. Bryce Brown, if you're listening, ask someone to give you... If you're listening and you see Bryce Brown, give that man a hug. Because, honestly, I think the guy needs it. But now that's it. That's my little piece on the Bills. I think that, I'm a little worried about the fact that, Doug Whaley has said some things. Actually, I did not dive into why I thought there were comments that were damning to E.J. Manuel. He had mentioned that Jim Manos, the director of scouting for the Buffalo Bills, he had mentioned that E.J. Manuel was working out with a quarterbacks coach, Steve DeBerg, who is very good at training quarterbacks.
Okay.
Now, Manos said you could try to fix the techniques all you want, but your tape is your tape, and that's who you are. If you can throw, you could throw. That's not necessarily what I'd call a ringing endorsement for EJ. I want to see what he's learned from Kyle Orton. And Doug Whaley said the biggest things about what he looks for in a quarterback. They're things that Manuel has not been good with. He said accuracy, decision-making, willingness to throw the ball. And EJ's been tentative. He doesn't throw the ball with, honestly, there were times where he did, but on many occasions, EJ Manuel would not throw the ball with timing involved. He is a see you open, throw you open kind of guy. He doesn't throw the ball with anticipation. When a receiver breaks on his route, he should be expecting the football, whether he's covered or not. EJ Manuel does not use that anticipation to his advantage. And sometimes that's where you have to make a tough completion. He's done it before. He's shown that he can do it. He's just tentative. Hopefully he learned something like that sitting behind Kyle Orton. He acknowledges that he has work to do. But unfortunately, that doesn't make him different from any other first-round quarterback that hasn't panned out. He has to get the work done. I like E.J. Manuel. He's a good kid. Very nice. Great. He's a great person, I would honestly be led to believe. But right now, he's got to show that whatever he's learning, it's got to pay off.
Yeah.
Whether they take a quarterback or not, he's got to keep his confidence intact.
Okay.
Because they've brought in competition for him, and he knows it. He's got to keep himself mentally ready to protect himself and be able to get out there and start slinging the ball. If he doesn't, man, it's the last we'll see of EJ in Buffalo. And it sucks, but it's what the truth is. And when your general manager who drafted you and your director of pro scouting say the same thing, that's not good. They're not necessarily giving ringing endorsements to EJ Manuel. He's got to earn this job. We'll see what happens, but from the looks of it, it looks like Matt Castle was brought in not just to compete. He was brought in to be the starter.
It definitely looks like it.
And I don't.
It'll be interesting to see.
I'd say Matt Castle's like moldy coffee cake. Kind of like an Anders Lindback.
And yet,
you think it's a good idea at the time, but then you eat it and you go, "Why did I do that?" I'm worried that Matt Castle is that. We thought that with Anders Lindback, but Archer Zerbe is the goalie whisperer.
Yeah.
I don't see a QB whisperer on Rex Ryan's staff. I'm sorry. So I'm starting to think that Matt Castle is your true moldy coffee cake. If you don't know the joke, it's something from Neutral Ice. Nick Lippa had called Sabres goalie Anders Lindback moldy coffee cake guy.
He did.
And again, like I had said, seems like a good idea at the time, but then you eat it and you go, "Why did I do that?
Why? Yeah,
why did I do that?
Why?"
So,
okay.
Again, we've got a lot there. Excuse me. Matt Castle may be new moldy coffee cake guy. We'll find out. We'll see. I don't know yet. But that might be the truth. People talking about Tyrod Taylor, sorry, I'm just going to say it right now. Tyrod Taylor is less accurate than EJ Manuel. He's always had that problem. Yes, he may be the fastest quarterback in the league. I'm sorry, but what has speed done for a guy like, like a Colin Kaepernick after they found out the read option, how to stop it and how to contain it? How has speed worked for Mike Vick in the majority of his career, when Mike Vick was the fastest quarterback in the league? When you find out that you can't spin the ball, when you can't throw the ball on a consistent basis with accuracy, it doesn't matter if you're a pocket passer or if you're a guy who's mobile. You're not going anywhere. I mean, you find it out all the time. From guys like Blaine Gabbert, Jake Locker, guys who can run with the ball, to guys like Mike Vick, Tyrod Taylor, Colin Kaepernick, who are mobile, but they can't put the ball in the same place. Russell Wilson is different for a reason. Russell Wilson is an anomaly for a reason. He can put the ball on the money for you while moving around, while being mobile. He is not a run-first guy, and that's not my point here. He puts the ball where it's got to be. That's the thing that matters. You cannot forget that as a quarterback. I'm sorry, but you go ahead and say that someone's strength is that they're the fastest quarterback in the league? Great. What's his arm capable of? Show me. And when you look at Tyrod Taylor, back in his highlights from Virginia Tech, I don't see a man who could spin the ball. He's brought in really to be a backup. Jeff Toole should be nervous. But not EJ Manuel, not Matt Castle. Actually, EJ Manuel, if he does struggle, I would say he should be nervous. But Matt Castle shouldn't be worrying about Tyrod Taylor, and neither should you. That's my piece on that. Bills quarterbacks, I just deciphered it. If EJ Manuel doesn't pan out, you're looking at next year. Next year's quarterback class. I've mentioned it before on the first episode of Leftovers. I'm not going to get into it today. Why? Because that's more of an after the draft kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
I'll get into next year's draft class with next year's draft class starting up. I'm not going to get into it again with this year coming 9 days away. Yay. So tune into 91.3 FM on Thursday at 7 on Friday. Same time. or at least I think it's the same time.
And that's going to be the days of the draft.
That's days 1 and 2 of the draft.
Yep, April 30th and May 1st.
Yes. And yeah, thank you for dating that. I shouldn't have just said Thursday and Friday. That was
you don't
my
want
mistake.
to make them think it's
it's like,
this
what? This Thursday and Friday?
No.
What? No. No.
Okay.
Yes, April 30th, May 1st. Those are the days we'll be covering it live on 91.3 FM WBNY. And again, I will be putting day 3 up on the YouTube channel for WBNY because I'm a draft nerd. I'm going to try to find another draft nerd to be with me on this one.
No, you got options.
I got my options, yeah.
Okay. But I think that'll do it for.
I'm full on my leftovers. I mean,
feel good.
Thanks to Nick Lippa for showing up. Nate Smith for coming in, talking some hockey, and thank you for listening. We'll be back with the next episode, which should be going on a regularly scheduled time because, like I said last week, I stunk at the whole being available thing. My apologies, and we'll get this thing up as soon as we can, and for your listening pleasure. Thank you very much. My name is Derek Kramer.
I am Frank R. Curry.
This was The Leftovers for WBNY 91.3 FM.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. I am at Frank R. Curry.
I am at Derek Kramer 49. Follow the radio station.
Follow radio station 91.3 FM WBNY or at WBNY Buffalo.
Follow at Neutral Ice WBNY.
Yep.
Follow everything. We love you guys. Thank you for listening. Follow the YouTube channel because subscribe to the channel that is right below the link to the nice little video that we've got for you here.
Yep.
That there is no video for. But I digress. Thank you for your support. We continue to look for your support. And go Bills, go Sabres.